Yes, guys, we're coming in with a new flow. We're coming in with that new flow. We're taking things to the next level. So, football, we're taking things to the next level. So, well, we're here right now. So, hopefully, this is going to be a new format moving forth for this pre-match analysis coming soon. This fixture is early. It has come early, and because it has come so early, I think it would be wrong for us to then assume that this is what's going to now decide the that this is probably what's going to end up deciding the title. It's way early. I don't think we've even reached double figures of games, so this will not really have a bearing. Now, what will be interesting will be what will the game, which I believe will at Anfield, when will that occur? Because this game at Manchester is going to be early, but still, it's still psychological because if one of these teams wins, or the manner in which they win, if they win big, it could say what's up, and it could psychologically get into the psychiatry of each of these teams. Because look, I'll keep it real with you. Liverpool wants to defend their title, and there are many Liverpool fans that want, because correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've either equaled United. They either won behind United or they've equaled United's hold. So what Liverpool wants is United, they're the nice rivals, and especially with how United are more like boy Chester divided right now, Liverpool feel like this is now the best chance with under Klopp and with this team to really now be the 100% the team that has won the most league titles in England. That's what they want. So Liverpool want to defend their title. Man City, the manner in which they got pimped up by Liverpool last season, they want to say what's up. And I feel that, we wouldn't lick our wounds. It was painful how we lost the title by such a huge margin. It was also painful how we lost to Lyon. So City think that they have unfinished business. The game, I believe there was, the game in Manchester, like that means nothing. So, it was like 5-0 or something. That means nothing because Liverpool had already won the league. So that match really has zero bearing on this because it was, again, I think City wanted to win just for their own pride. Liverpool were like, they were already thinking about, okay, when do we actually hold this flipping trophy? So, but still, because I don't think that there is not a lot riding on this game with regards to, okay, you need to win this game to potentially do something. It is on the psychological tip because there's so much football to be played. I remember that this is a marathon. Aston Villa and Everton are not this PL title, man. So I want to look at some key players right now. So let's roll first with Man City over here. So let's just go over to the Man City dudes. So first up, we have Gabriel Jesus. So boy Gabriel Jesus, he's back in it. He's back in the game. He's back saying what's up. And I think that he will need to start. Now, Jesus has come out and said that he isn't yet fully match fit yet. Even if he did come off the bench to square against Olympiacos in a CL game, he's not fully match fit yet. So this is a big decision for Homeboy to make, I think. And because it's a huge decision, you're like, do you start with Jesus or do you bring him off the bench? If you put him on the bench and you go 2-3-0 down, can Jesus change the game? If you start with a Jesus, then that means you lose the ability to be like, hey man, let's bring him on. Let's bring on a goal scorer, specifically if he's not yet fully match fit. What do I do? Against Liverpool and this Liverpool side, I am tempted to leave Jesus on the bench because he isn't match fit yet. Because I think City have been able to, which is why you've got to really give Pep credit that they've been able to really find a way to still be effective, score goals and winning games without both Jesus and Aguero. So what I would do is that because he's not yet fully match fit and the only football he's played is those few minutes that he came on against Olympiacos, I'll start him on the bench, then bring him on to change the game if need be or to get an extra goal or an extra cushion. So I would go without having Jesus in the lineup. So that's the thing there. So another key guy that I have to look at here is Ruben Dias. The defense is going to be key. And I think I look at Ruben Dias because this has been where City have faltered due to individual errors, defensive mistakes. I already know what Laporte brings. So I think what Pep wants is who can truly partner Laporte and be that full 100% force in there. Because see, the issue that they've had is that they've had been issues with defense. Your boy Fernandinho has had to go back in there, but I like guys who are natural dudes in the position. Fernandinho can play defense. He's not a natural defender. Ruben Dias is a natural defender, and he is a starter for Portugal. And you expect if he is fit, he'll start for Portugal in the Euros. So for Ruben Dias, he'll be key. You're going up against one of the best attacking sides in Europe, and with 3 guys now who can say what's up with regards to them scoring. So for me, Ruben Dias will be flipping huge in this. And look, De Bruyne, he is Man City's best player. He's Man City's most important player. And I think when he plays well and when he's influential, City are very devastating. And big game, massive game again, this is when you want your best players to come through. Your best players saying what's up to flipping Scunthorpe. Okay, that's cool and everything. And to Sideshow FC. But your best players are called your best players because they show up when it really matters in the biggest possible games. And this is where your boy De Bruyne needs to show up. And I think if De Bruyne has a major influence in this, his passing is crisp, he makes great decisions, and he takes the lead. That's the key thing. He takes the lead, doesn't shy away from pressure. I think City have a good chance of saying what's up. So now let's look at the visitors right now, man. And it is, of course, Liverpool. So first up, massive decision needs to be made. First off, let's look at Jota. Amazing. I think Klopp may have struck gold yet again. I don't know how Klopp keeps doing it. He keeps finding these guys that nobody really knows about, and then he keeps managing to say what's up with these dudes. And yet again, I think he's managed to say what's up with homeboy Diego Jota, who is on a crazy goal scoring run. And for me, I would say it's not how many you score, it's when you score. He's scoring key goals, he's scoring winning goals, he's scoring equalizers. And with that hat-trick that he scored against Atalanta, if he is fit, because he still has a bit of a knock, so there's a bit of a escape, but if he is fit and past fit, I would start him. Okay, the argument is, what if you're chasing the game? You can bring him on to changing the game. I think football should always be in a meritocracy, and don't get too cute, don't get too smart. He's playing well. He's playing amazingly well. And between him and Firmino, he needs to start. In Liverpool's best lineup right now, if everybody's fit, Jota should be starting. And that brings me to this dude, Firmino. It is what it is. Players play well, players play badly. Jota will play badly. Jota will have a bad run. This is what happens. As of right now, Firmino just isn't playing well right now. And I say this to managers that sometimes you can be loyal to effort. Loyalty is great. And I do kind of understand for some managers where, you know players, it's like a family atmosphere and you create rapport with players, especially players who have done so much for you. You feel they need to be loyal to them. But this is one of the hardest things it is for managers to do. But one of the best things to do is you need to make those tough decisions. As in sometimes, and this is what happens in life, you need to do things that maybe you don't like to do, that are hard to do, but you need to do it. And I understand him being loyal to Firmino because Firmino has been so important and crucial for his Liverpool side. But as of right now, Firmino is not really in the best place right now, both physically and performance-wise. So in what is a tough game against a team who you believe are going to be your rivals for the rest of the season, I'm not sure whether Firmino starting would be the right way to go. You can bring him off the bench to try and change the navigation of the game and so forth. So you don't need to bring him on to score a goal, but just bring him on just to change the way that you're going forth. But he isn't Liverpool's best 11. He just isn't, because he's not playing that well. And you must pick guys based on a meritocracy and pick your best possible 11. Based on what Jota has been doing, not his last game, what he has been doing, what Firmino has been doing, homeboy has to flip and start. Matip. Because, shout out, I think it was Williams, the kid who did really well. But I think it's important that if Matip is fit and he does get past fit, he needs to play because he's going to be very important. Because for me, I didn't go to Gomez because whenever you look at a central defense, the most important person in the central defensive pairing is the more experienced one. The better one, but most likely the more experienced one. And Matip's job isn't just to defend by himself, it is to instruct Trent, Robertson and Zentrot Gomez as well. So Matip is going to be very important because you're going up against an extremely intelligent passing side who pride themselves on making very imaginative, creative passes, what Pep team to do. So Matip, his role in this, in terms of his positioning, forget tackling, his positioning is going to be vital, key, 100% crucial, 100% absolutely crucial. So you have Thiago in there, and I think Thiago is another key, huge player. So they don't know whether he's starting or not starting, but these are the games that you bring in Thiago for to change the climate of how Liverpool go forth. Liverpool have done very well, and I think Liverpool, when all is said and done, and both guys are playing at the best of their abilities, and they both want to win, I do feel Liverpool have an edge over Man City. But you can always get better. And I think Thiago simply makes Liverpool better. Thiago doesn't take anything away from Liverpool's game that they used to get themselves over a Man City. All he does is add to the game in terms of the kind of passes he can find and the way in which he can transition to a Mane or a Salah. So I think Thiago is very key in that position. So I don't think it's very important for him to roll through. And we already know about the other dudes, Salah and Mane. It is what it is. These are the kinds of guys that are crucial to Liverpool's attack and will cause people issues. So taking all of those things into account, man, you know, say to yourself, it's hard to make one think about how do I see this game going? Because this is a rivalry. This is a rivalry, and I think it's a healthy rivalry. I don't think it is as bad-natured as the Fergie Mourinho ones, or maybe the Fergie Wenger ones, or something, or definitely the Wenger Mourinho ones. But it is definitely a rivalry, and both sides want to beat each other's sides. And remember, what's it called, when they had to give them a guard of honor. Bernardo Silva did not like that. He did not like giving those guys a guard of honor. So how this game is going to go, it'll be interesting to see how Man City, their approach, if they don't have Jesus, and their passing approach, and how they go up against a defense that will not have a Van Dijk, and how Liverpool, without Van Dijk, cope with how Man City approach. Because I do feel like if with no Jesus or Aguero, City definitely go a lot more smaller, and there is a greater emphasis on Sterling and Mahrez, or Sterling and Bernardo Silva. But I suppose he may put Bernardo Silva in the midfield. Let's just say Sterling and Mahrez, there'll be greater emphasis on them in what they do, specifically in an attacking sense, if you don't have an out-and-out striker. But then again, because you put Sterling in that striker's position more as a roaming false nine. And from Liverpool's point of view, I would like Jota to be fit, because I now want to see what this side do with Jota, because City haven't faced a Liverpool with Jota in their side. They've been used to Firmino, Salah, Mane, so they're used to that front three, and they're used to what Firmino does. But now you're now facing three genuine goal-scoring threats. I want to know how City happened with that. So for Liverpool, they're like, you know what? If we can just get that ball to that front three, and for them to navigate broadly, give them balls into space. Hence why Thiago is key, because I think Thiago is the kind of guy who can get the ball to them in space. You look at the Atalanta game, City ain't going to defend like Atalanta, and City, they'll give Liverpool space, but they have smarter guys off the ball. They are smarter, more effective off the ball pressers that they want to get the kind of space, the kind of criminal space that was given to them by Atalanta. So, but I think for Liverpool, they just know that if Liverpool play their game, they get their wing backs into the game, and that front three find space and put serious pressure upon them, and they are on their game. Put it this: Liverpool play their game, City play their game, Liverpool win. That's my view. City have to take Liverpool out of their game. They're going to take City out of their rhythm, because if City allow Liverpool to play their game, allow them to have space, allow them to move the ball around, allow them to play aggressive, allow them to win off the balls, allow them to really run through the pitch, and really allow Henderson, who's another key player, to really dictate what the heck is happening. Because Henderson is let's just go back to the screen. Henderson is another key one. Let's just keep it real. I don't think he's the most technically gifted player. He is influential for this team, and I do feel he's hugely important in what he does in both ends, both protecting the defense, distributing the ball, giving energy in that midfield, and also putting key passes. He is the nucleus of the team, because I always say the midfield is the heart and soul of the whole side, man. So, prediction time. It's a tough one. This is tough. If Jota plays and he is past fit, I do feel Liverpool win this like 3-2. Because I just think that's a level like Klopp's tactic. This is it also been a bad matchup for Liverpool. So if Jota plays, Matip plays, even Thiago plays, and Liverpool just have most of their key guys fit, I do see Liverpool winning this. Now, if Jota doesn't play, is past fit, and Firmino does start, I do see City maybe sneaking this. I think there's going to be a winner here. I'm not going to sit the vet and say it's going to be a draw. There's going to be a winner. So that's what I'm going to say. That if Jota doesn't play, Firmino does play, I do see City winning this 2-1, or maybe even like a 3-2. I'll say maybe a City 2-1. If Jota does play, I do see goals coming through. And I just do feel like if on that transition, specifically with our front three, I think City will find it difficult to cope and restrict that front three. So I might say 3-2 to Liverpool. So whatever the case may be, guys, remember to join me on Twitch, well, if that's possible, to watch the match with me. But almost definitely on the post-match stream, I'll be there on that post-match stream doing my thing. So join me straight after the game for the post-match live stream so we can discuss the game in detail. Remember to like that vid. And remember to hit that subscribe button right down there below. Subscribe to the Football Hut and hit the like button. Peace out, stay true, stay real, and stay black.